You are listening to the Winners Ways podcast with Bola Alabi, episode number 77.
Would you like to win and achieve success at what you do? Welcome to the Winners Ways podcast, where we create winners every day. And now, your host, the author of Winners Ways book and life coach, Bola Alabi.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Winners Ways podcast. This is where we talk about your career, your money, and we also give you life motivation to help you to maximize your potentials. Today, I want to talk about retirement savings and money goals. Before we go into today's show, I want to quickly reach out to you and check out how you are doing. I hope you are staying healthy. I hope you are staying safe. The pandemic has affected over 5 million people in the United States, and hundreds of thousands of people have lost their lives as a result. Many of our citizens are still out of job. I know some are getting their jobs back, but there are still millions of people out there looking for employment. So I want to reach out to you to check out how you are doing today. Please continue to follow the guidelines, continue to practice social distancing. I think until they find a vaccine for this dangerous disease, we are still going to be needing to practice social distancing for a while. Please stay safe and stay healthy. So let's go into today's show. So I said I want to talk about retirement savings and money goals. If you live here in the United States, you must have heard maybe some financial advisors telling you that, you need to save $1 million in your retirement account so that you can retire rich. They'll tell you that if you don't have such amount, you may not be able to take care of yourself during retirement. And this has often make people feel anxious that they are falling behind, and they'll be afraid of retirement. I want to set the record straight today. I am for planning and saving for retirement. I want you to be able to take care of yourself when you get to that stage in life, so that you won't need to depend on the government. But I am also sure that everyone will not need $1 million before they could retire. Some may need much more than that, that's guaranteed, while others will need significantly less. So what you need to work on really is how much exactly do you need to save for your retirement. It's a personal issue. It may be daunting to many people. They may wonder, how can I know exactly how much I'm gonna need to save for my retirement? Anyway, as a certified financial education instructor, one of my duties is to guide people to answer this question. So if you ask me, how much should I have in my retirement account before I could retire? I'll tell you that it depends. Really, it depends on several factors. I'm going to quickly go over those factors, and you know your situation. You can judge as we move along. So number one, it depends on where you live. For someone that lives in maybe Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the cost of living there is significantly less than for someone that lives in New York City, right? So somebody that lives in New York will probably need much more in retirement than someone that lives in Alabama. So that's the message. It depends on where you live. It depends on if you also have debt at retirement. At retirement, if you have paid off your mortgage, then you have lesser debt or lesser financial obligation than someone that is still paying their mortgage. So that's another factor that you need to figure out. It depends on another factor is your health conditions. If you are healthy, if you don't need much of medical attention, you are not going to spend much during retirement. So that's why it's always good to keep healthy. Another factor is your lifestyle. That's number 4, lifestyle. For someone that wants to really, really enjoy their retirement, travel all over the world, you are going to need money to do that. So are you the type that want to travel around the world, or you are just someone that will be taking vacation once in a while and you are going to be traveling locally? So if you are the type that want to travel around the world, then you are going to need much more money. It depends also, number 5, on the age you want to retire. If you are retiring at 62, you are going to need much more to maintain yourself, at least maybe for the next 30 years if you live up to 90 years of age. On the other hand, if you work till you are 70, maybe you just need money that will keep you for the next 20 years. So retiring earlier will mean that you need much more money than someone that is retiring later in life. If you have kids in college, that's number 6. If you have kids in college and you are going to be supporting your kids while in college, then you are going to need more money. So you know your situation, and based on your situation, we now need to figure out what are your expenses at retirement. Retirement saving goal is not a one-size-fits-all figure, and it is wrong to tell everyone that they must save at least $1 million in their retirement account before they can retire. As we are all different, so is our financial goals. Retirement savings is a game of number. It is personal and it varies from one individual to another. Now let's go into how to figure out how much you need for retirement. But I quickly want to define 2 terms. The first one that we often bounce around is to retire rich. And what does this mean? It means you want to have more money than enough. The other one is to retire happy and comfortably. With this, you want to have everything you need to take care of yourself and possibly your family. I think both are reasonable goals to aspire to achieve, but we need to know what we want. If your goal is to retire rich, you need to have much more than what will take care of your personal and family expenses. So if you are the type that aspire to retire rich, then maybe you probably need to save much more than $1 million, maybe $5 million, depending on what being rich means to you. If your goal, on the other hand, is to retire happy and comfortably, you may not need to stretch yourself too much or aim for the $1 million figure. And this episode is for you, because I'm going to be going over your expenses at retirement. I will use that to figure out how much you are going to be needing annually at retirement. I know you are wondering, hey Bola, are you telling me that I'll still need to use a budget at retirement? And my answer is going to be a capital yes. So let's try and figure it out. What will be your projected budget at retirement? Do you have any housing payments? If you don't have any mortgage left, like I said, then your expenses will be significantly reduced. But you should still figure out the taxes on insurance on your house. Feeding, is it just going to be you and your spouse that you'll be feeding at retirement? Clothing, how much you want to really spend on clothing? Transportation, it's going to be reduced because you are not going out that much. Utility bills, what are the utility bills that you'll be paying? Healthcare costs, and if at all you'll be traveling on vacation, on cruise, you need to figure out how much it's going to cost you every year. Now, I'm going to go with some assumptions here. Let's say at the end of your calculation, you sum everything and it came to $3,500. That's $3,500. That means you are going to need $42,000 every year. So here are my assumptions for this calculation. I'm going to assume that you want to retire by age 65 and you are going to live up to age 90. That's the life expectancy. And your monthly expenses is $3,500. So $3,500 per month translates to $42,000 per annum drawdown from your investment portfolio. And if you are retiring at 65 and we expect you to live up till 90 years, if you multiply 42,000 by 25 years, that will be approximately $1 million. Okay, hold it right there. I just told you that you do not need $1 million, and my calculation is telling you that you need $1 million. Well, don't worry. This will only be the scenario if you withdraw your entire retirement savings and you keep everything right under your pillow in your bedroom. That means if you let your money stop working for you. Most people won't do this. So with your money still invested, I'll go by the assumption that you are getting about 10% annual return on your investments. That means whatever you have in your retirement balance, the money keep growing even as you are withdrawing money to take care of yourself. Please know that this calculation that I'm going to do is based on the assumption that you are getting a ROI of 10%. Even if you get about 8%, you will need only $400,000 because with the growth and withdrawal, that $400,000 will last for about 25 years. But you must not exceed the withdrawal rate. That means you cannot just go 1 year you withdrew $60,000, another year you go over and withdrew $70,000. That will not make the calculation work. I'm assuming that you are going to be withdrawing only $42,000 every year. You need to do your calculation correctly to check if this will work for you. I am not your financial advisor and I do not know your financial situation. I'm only trying to help you to think and figure out how to calculate what you need at retirement. I'm going to post on my show notes how I made this calculation, but I'll quickly go over it. So let's say you have $400,000 in your account at age 65, and that will be year one of retirement. And this $400,000 with the 10% appreciation that I spoke about, at the end of that first year, when you are 65, it grew to $440,000. You withdrew $42,000. So at the end of year one, you are going to have $398,000. That's $440,000 minus $42,000. Now, year 2, the beginning balance in your portfolio is going to be $398,000. Based on appreciation of 10%, this is going to become $437,800 at the end of year 2. Again, beginning of year 2, you took out $42,000. You are going to be left with $395,800. And that $395,800 will be your beginning balance at the beginning of year 3. It's going to continue like this, and at year 25, you are still going to have around $203,000 in your retirement account based on this appreciation and withdrawal rates. Check out my show notes. You are going to see how I did this calculation, and hopefully you will learn how to do your calculation by yourself. Again, to recap, you need to figure out how much you need to save for retirement. And to do that, you need a budget. You need to know how much your expenses will be during each month. And you need to try and figure out life expectancy. Nobody can know that for sure. But I projected living up to 90, which is quite high for most people. And based on that, you can figure out how much money you need in your retirement account. One other thing that you need to now do is, based on what you need, you can now project how much you need to save every month as you are currently working, so that you can reach that amount by the time you are ready to retire. And the way to do that, you can go on Google and check out compound interest calculators. You can download an Excel file, or you can work on website. Several websites will pop up, of course, and they will show you how much you can save every month to arrive at certain figure during your retirement. And you can also, based on withdrawal rate, figure out how long your money will last for you. I hope you found this episode useful. Till next time again, this is Bola Halabi. Please don't forget to rate and review this show. We need to attract more people so that we can help people to live to their fullest. Thank you for listening. Till next time, keep winning. Bye.
This episode of Winner's Ways podcast has come to a close. We hope you enjoy and learn something from today's show. We want you to win and excel in all areas of your life, and we regularly explore and share information with our listeners to empower them to win. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more tips and strategies to help you find the success that you've always dreamt of. And don't forget to rate and review so that we can continue to bring you more podcast episodes to empower you. We will love to have you again next week. Now, keep winning.